attention. Little Paul Ryan. Very unpopular, obviously, in conservative circles. He does have a position there on the board at Fox, and he's blamed quite often for some of the wild U-turns that Fox News has taken. And he seems to be very much part of the status quo. He's gotten a reputation as sort of being a member of the so-called elite, which is why it's interesting what just went down. Reminder to subscribe, please. Subscribe to this channel. Really important. I'm out here on my own. No Fox News anymore. Woohoo! I've been freed. Anyway, so subscribe, hit the like button, hit the bell so you know when I'm here. Share it, do all that good stuff. Make a comment. Anyway, Paul Ryan just admitted on Fox News that New York City's Alvin Bragg is like way out to lunch. And the Judge Merchan, he said, I'm going to play this for you, that these guys have a bogus case against Donald Trump. Let's watch him here on Fox.
Your successor, Mike Johnson, the president, Speaker of the House, was asked about whether there is a two-tier justice system on this. And this was from about an hour and a half ago. I want you to react to this. Speaker Johnson.
Mr. Speaker, you've been saying two-tier system of justice for some time. Here's the president's son being convicted on 3 counts. Doesn't that undercut your claims?
It doesn't. Every case is different, and clearly the evidence is overwhelming here. I don't think that's the case in the Trump trial. And all the charges that have been brought against him have been obviously brought for political purposes. Hunter Biden is a separate incident.
Do you buy that?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that was Manu Raju. I recognize his voice. He used to do the same thing to me in the hallway.
Exactly.
Is that what walked through? Yeah, I do buy that. Now, look, there's a lot of Trump cases. This one here in New York, I think, was a bogus case. Alvin Bragg ran for office saying, I'm going to get Trump. Then he got it. He twisted a misdemeanor into a felony and got 34 felony convictions of it. If his name was Donald Cavuto, I bet these charges would not have been brought against him.
Probably would have been more charges.
Yeah, right. No, but I think the other cases are serious for Trump. I think the federal cases are much more serious and much more legitimate cases. I think this was a totally bogus case. So, yeah, I think unequal justice was applied in that particular Trump case. As I mentioned, anybody who's bought a gun, you fill out the form. That's just an open and shut case for Hunter Biden. So, but I do think this Bragg case was really, and I'm not a Trump fan, but I think he was totally victimized. But I think that was a completely bogus case.
But let me ask you about.
All right. So finally admitting the truth. Now and then, you get a little truth out of Paul. Look, there's a lot of pressure on Mr. Ryan now. He's got to earn a living, so he's got that board job. And let me tell you, it doesn't pay like Burisma did. No, he's not making $83,000 a month on the board at Fox. He'd be lucky to make that in a year. Very, very different kind of board job. So he's got to, make his way in the world. And part of making a way in the world is making sure you fit in line, right, with what the elites want you to say and what they want you to do. And that means you go to all the right conferences and do all the right speeches, including the Milken Institute, where he just was. You see, the only thing is he made this little teeny tiny faux pas. He went on to rail against Trump, but he did it on Yahoo Finance. Now, I'm going to give you some inside baseball because I come from the media world, right? Remember to subscribe, especially if you used to watch me on Fox. Subscribe right here. Hit the bell. If you're brand new to the Trish Regan Show, we love that. We love that. Tell your friends. Make sure you subscribe. Hit the bell. Hit the like, all that. But I'm going to give you a little bit of color. So in the media world, we're very, very competitive. It's actually one of the great things about being over here, because it's a little bit more, pie growing for everyone as opposed to sharp elbows. But everybody's got sharp elbows and everybody wants to get the booking and everybody wants to get the guest. And so, for example, when I worked at CNBC, oh gosh, we'd go crazy if we saw Jack Welch, who was then, of course, running CNBC. We'd go crazy if we saw Jack Welch on the air over at Bloomberg or on Fox. And then when I worked at Bloomberg, oh my gosh, if Mike Bloomberg wound up on the air and he did this to us, he'd go on CNBC or he'd go on Fox and we're like, hey, wait a second. How about a little love for your actual team? Well, I suspect this is exactly what went down when Paul Ryan, who's on that board at Fox News, decided while visiting people at the Milken Institute and giving a little speech, decided to go on Yahoo Finance. There was a little hell to pay. We're going to talk about it, but hear what he said.
Character is too important to me. And it's a job that requires the kind of character that he just doesn't have. Having said that, I really disagree with Biden on policy. I wrote in a Republican the last time. I'm going to write in a Republican this time.
You're going to write in
Yeah.
a Republican?
I don't know who yet.
I just had to shut the door because Fluffy was thinking he might come in. That's my dog, by the way, for anybody who really knows the show. If you really know the show, I know you're a big fan if you know who Fluffy is. Anyway, so Paul Ryan making that comment there on Yahoo Finance. So, of course, everybody at Fox Business is like, what are you doing to us? Why are you going on Yahoo Finance? And so I have a feeling they orchestrated this little move, knowing what I know. And he went on with Neil on the big channel, right? But that also meant it was sort of Fox Business because Neil's also on Fox Business. And this was sort of the appeasement strategy because I guarantee you they were furious. But he went on with Neil. He gave us that little thing about Alvin Bragg, maybe to try and, help himself with the conservative community. I don't know. But then he said the exact same thing that he said on Yahoo Finance. Watch.
It's going to be a very, very close race. I think they're terrible choices that we're being presented with. And that's just the fate of that's what the primary voters selected. And I regret the fact that that's where we are.
All right. Now, I know a lot of these folks who also shared your same concerns about Donald Trump have sort of said, all right, we're rallying around Donald Trump. You had said, though, that would not be the case with you. You had said that he's a populist and an authoritarian narcissist, that character is too important to me, and it's a job that requires the kind of character he just doesn't have. That's pretty strong.
Yeah, that's the way I feel. I agree with that. I don't support Biden either. I think his policies are terrible. I hate the fact that I feel I got to write in a Republican like I did the last time in 2020. I voted for him in 2016, hoping that there was going to be a different kind of person in office. And I do think character is a really important issue. If you put yourself above the Constitution, as he has done.
But what happened?
I think that makes you unfit for office.
Was it the whole January 6th thing?
That's a part of it. I think it's a contribution of factors, but I think it really is just character at the end of the day. And the fact that if you're willing to put yourself above the Constitution, an oath you swear when you take office, in federal office, whether it's president or a member of Congress, you swear an oath to the Constitution. And if you're willing to suborn it to yourself, I think that makes you unfit for office.
Does it?
So he's standing by that. Of course, a lot has since come out, including this week. What did we talk about yesterday on the program? But Nancy Pelosi admitting in this newly revealed tape, you can go watch it. We posted the clip this morning here on my channel, the Trish Regan channel on YouTube. Nancy Pelosi admitted this was newly discovered. They were hiding this tape. They didn't want you to see this, I guess, but she admitted she should have called the National Guard and it was her responsibility and she didn't call in the National Guard. And Donald Trump was trying to call in the National Guard and that somehow got buried. And it wasn't until Molly Hemingway over at The Federalist did a whole report on it where she uncovered some testimony that Liz Cheney had tried to bury. I mean, shouldn't there be something wrong with that? Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, that testimony was buried. And yet now that's all come forward. So Donald Trump was trying to actually calm things down. But did he not have a right to ask questions? I mean, we were just talking about Fulton County, Georgia, and they counted 3,075 votes twice. I mean, he was asking questions, which the other side would have asked. In fact, I play this clip all the time, so I won't do it again today, but Drew has it handy, I know. Always ready, willing, and able to play this one because Hillary Clinton went on a program in August of 2020 with her former communications director, Jennifer Palmieri, and you know what she said? She said that she would advise Biden, if it was close in any way, to hang on, to not give up, no matter what. Well, it was close for Trump, and he was hanging on, and he didn't want to give up, no matter what. So they can say that. They can go out there and say, oh, not my president. Jimmy Carter can go out there and say he's an illegitimate president. Hillary Clinton can allege that he won only because of the help of the Russians. I mean, a whole bunch of nonsense. They can tell you, for example, that Hunter Biden's laptop is totally misinformation fed you courtesy of Rudy Giuliani. That was all fake, wrong. It was the real laptop, which we have since learned. And by the way, he may have to go to jail because of it. I'm telling you, there's a lot that still needs to be uncovered, but Paul Ryan made his bed. He's laying in it. Nothing against him. Nothing against the guy. But you know what? We deserve more. We just deserve more. He's singing for his supper. So keep singing, Paul. Keep on singing.